he actually wins more often because then he bets bigger.
Because his dick is out.
Because his dick is out, and he's already obviously not afraid of that.
Yeah. People find it intimidating.
Other players go, well, he obviously doesn't care
But he's got
about the strip aspect.
nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he forces it, because he just goes all in, and he forces everyone else to go all in on the first hand. Okay.
You know that Georgia's the only state where strippers don't wear bottoms, right?
What?
What?
Like around or at work?
No, at work.
Okay.
So everywhere else they need to wear bottoms, but in Georgia is the only state where you could see pussy. So
Georgia on my
first
mind.
of all,
in California they can do it without pants on, but in California, as I understand it, if you're in a strip club and you're not wearing pants, then they're not allowed to serve alcohol.
I thought you meant...
one has to go.
Well, I was once in a strip club like this, and I had to do stand-up comedy there.
What?
Yeah, so I got booked.
Concurrently?
Were you bottomless?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a requirement that you had to be bottomless.
You were like Winnie the Pooh, bottomless.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is the other Winnie the Pooh property that no one talks about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think that all Georgia strippers should Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, nice.
Like red T-shirts.
Yeah, and also I think that Georgia should do like a tourism campaign where they're like, this is the only place with real strip clubs.
If it was
where you
like,
can see the Georgia peach.
so it's like a so it's like a sexy lady in a Winnie the Pooh like little red T-shirt.
Yeah, and then
But she's-
camera pans down. There's nothing else.
But she's like covering herself like Marilyn Monroe, like ooh, and then it's the caption is oh bother, and she's being covered in honey. And
How do we imply that wind is coming out of the grate though if she's not got anything on under the waist?
just sort of flatulence clouds like in the Beano. draw them on big clouds.
Or
And then,
like
it also says
running in a Looney Tune.
Yeah.
A little
But
classy.
if you're a stripper, would you not want the stuff to strip? Like, there's not much to work with if...
That's true. You want the layers to take off.
You're sort of automating away their job.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
God
Winnie the
damn
Pooh.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh would be terrible at strip poker. He's got one hand in him at best.
Shirt on
He's
his
not
back.
a puppet.
But you could also say potentially that might make him like, how about this? We can do the Freakonomics thing where it's like, yes, Winnie the Pooh only has one hand at strip poker, but he actually wins more often because then he bets bigger.
Because his dick is out.
Because his dick is out, and he's already obviously not afraid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, people find it intimidating.
Other players go, well, he obviously doesn't care
But he's got
about the strip aspect.
nothing
of
to
it.
lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he forces it, because he just goes all in, and he forces everyone else to go all in on the first hand. He's like double or nothing.
And he's like either we're all nude or I'm winning.
Ooh.
I mean, it's brave and confidence. The only two games of poker I ever won were the first two, and I didn't know the rules.
There you go. That's the Pooh mentality.
Yeah, it's
That's the secret.
there's
You could
no-
be in a TikTok now going, here's the thing. The only games of poker I've ever won, games where I didn't understand the rules. Once I learned the rules, gave up. I'd lost the edge. Start something else. Tiddlywinks, fuck it.
The thing is, when I knew what I had,
Yeah.
It's Winnie the Pooh, not Lucy the Pooh. So there we go. You're welcome.
There we go.
Someone's got to keep us on track. And so because the nifty boy made it for 100K.
Excuse me.
The nifty boy.
The
It's one
nifty
of-
boy?
Yeah, Christopher Robin.
Okay.
Yeah.
The boy who found out that the 75-year copyright thing has expired on Winnie the Pooh and made the movie.
Oh, so not Chris. The nifty boy was not a character in the film.
Oh no, there
Winnie
is
the
a nifty
Pooh.
boy in the movie. But basically, he made it for 100K, made $5 million off it. Now he's been recommissioned for 3 more films, a sequel to Winnie
Now
the
he
Pooh.
can afford trousers.
He's choosing not to wear them now. Bambi the Reckoning.
Okay, yeah.
And then-
I've often thought Bambi was overdue a reckoning.
And then a third one, which is a Peter Pan.
Mother, I thought you were dead.
Peter Pan is already a very horrible.
Peter Pan is terrifying.
Yeah.
We could also like shift genre, right? Doesn't have to stay in horror. He could do like My Dinner with Piglet.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, a lot of you'd
Driving
really,
Miss Piggy.
Yeah, exactly.
Piglet's voice would really start to grate after the first hour of sort of fairly in-depth conversation about current
A Richard
trends in art and
Curtis
politics.
rom-com, but they're all Winnie the Pooh characters.
Oh gosh, I couldn't possibly trouble you for some honey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be terribly out of place.
Yeah, notting poo.
I'm going a bit Prince Charles with the. So wait, have you?
What if Prince Charles was in a romantic comedy? Christ, is that the price of a pint these days?
He's definitely the bad guy.
Here's the problem, though. You could do that romantic comedy.
Notting poo.
Well, no, you could do the Prince Charles. Well, yeah, you could call it that.
Yeah.
You could do the Prince Charles one. Unfortunately,
That's either the Winnie the Pooh thing or it's a videotape you can only get from Germany.
Yeah.
So
Possibly both.
Have you seen this film now?
Yes, I have. So please, the floor is open. Do you have any questions about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Is it a Winnie the Pooh horror film? I didn't even understand.
Yes, so basically the premise is explained through animation.
Okay.
Christopher Robin hangs out with like freaky humanoid animal hybrids in the forest, but because he's a kid, he doesn't understand that they're freaks. He just thinks that they're cute little animals. And then one day he leaves because he has to go become a doctor. And they get so upset the fact that he's left and stopped bringing them food. They eat Eeyore.
Whoa. But Eeyore is also a freak.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah. And then they go completely crazy, and then they kill absolutely everybody. The only two animals they had mask budget for were Piglet and Winnie. There was no one else. And they're just indiscriminately murdering. But the funniest bit is...
AA 24 mil. Anything.
Very nice.
I actually found one other very funny bit, which is that Sherlock is about to enter the public domain in the United States.
Are we doing this? Sherlock, is it a horror? Is it a rom-com?
Well, this is going to come out...
Sherlock and Watson, gay lovers?
Great, perfect,
What?
fine, let's do it.
What's it called? Oh my god. What's the Peach gay movie?
Call Me By Your
Call
Name.
me by your name.
The thing is, gay Sherlock and Watson would be fun, but nowhere near as fun as gay Poirot.
Is Poirot...
come on, Hastings. It is quite a simple matter when you put your mind to it.
Is Poirot not gay already?
He's just Belgian, I think.
Yeah, he's just Belgian. He's just Belgian and fussy. But hang on, okay, so wait, so Christopher Robin...
Imagine getting rimmed by Poirot, that moustache.
Mm-hmm.
But it's rigid. It would be like when a dog tries to get a stick through a doorway that's too big.
Poirot can't rim because
Poirot
of the
can't
moustache.
rim.
It would break.
Every character has a flaw, and his is that he
can't rim.
Yeah.
Now, Miss Marple, she can rim. But
she
is she
does.
willing? Yeah.
That's one of those like side episodes that happens like when they need to fill one like towards the end.
So are you suggesting that sort of Poirot would be trying to rim, and at some point, let's say 75% of the way through the rimming, would be struck why he is unable to rim, and then pull back from the ass and say, aha, as he ordinarily does?
What is 75% through a rimming?
Yeah, but he wouldn't be able to...
How much rimming have you done at that point?
How do you know? Almost there. Not quite.
All right, time for the end of the second act. Yeah, because the commercials will run, or they'll,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
there'll be a cliffhanger.
I actually don't really know anything about any of the
I'm presuming the
Poirot
guy,
stories.
the person getting rimmed. It's the person getting rimmed that tells you how far you've got through the rimming, right?
So does he have like a sort of Domino's tracker?
They just say you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a train
I like
announcement. Like, you can't see who's talking, but...
They romantically say you're 75% of the way there.
Do we find out why these beasts exist?
Yeah, I'm so grateful that you keep coming back to the issue at hand. So we never really understand what they are, how they are. I would say one of the more jarring things, and this is also my problem with the movie Cats, the recent one, and the Jaws.
And we're back to rimming.
The Jaws of the Outback. Have you ever seen Razorback, the Australian film? This guy has. But basically, the problem with all these movies is that they get the scale so off all the time. Sometimes Winnie the Pooh is like Pooh size. Sometimes it's human size. There's a scene where he's twice as tall as everybody else. It makes no sense whatsoever.
So it's just the completely whatever it needs to be.
Yes, and because there are no rules
It's
to
like Clifford the Big Red Dog. You know how they just can't decide how big Clifford the Big Red Dog is supposed to be? Like, sometimes he's like as big as a car, other times he's like as big as a house. Like, he's always still big relative to a dog, but they can't really decide on the scale at all.
So he's anywhere between Great Dane and building.
Yeah.
And that's annoying to me.
Yeah, like he ranges from sort of like small elephant to Godzilla.
It's also that you got the Loch Ness Monster problem, right? Or any of the, like the Yeti problem, where any apex predator of a particular size requires an enormous amount of prey over the years to keep them there. So giant Winnie the Pooh needs to be eating like cattle regularly.
So true. That's such a good point.
The bees fucking hate him.
There's not enough honey in the world for that diet to
that
be.
Point, giant Winnie the Pooh seeming an awful lot just like a regular bear.
Yeah, this is it now.
Such a good point.
Now we're just getting to regular bear
They
territory.
basically made a movie about a regular bear.
Yeah.
With more opinions.
He kills people, and like a bear would kill a person.
Taking Clifford the big red dog down to pets at home, and they're like, oh, fuck's sake, he's brought him down here again. I've told you, we've not got enough kibble. You've got to go to a livery yard or something.
Yeah, he's got to eat just like, he's got to go to an abattoir and just eat there.
Like whole cows just being fed to Clifford.
Yeah, like a sort of elder god.
Once every 9 years, the virgins of the town are led into Clifford's lair.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like a Cthulhu thing.
I don't want to surprise you. There are 2 continuity errors. In
I refuse to believe it.
No!
I refuse to hear the good name of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Besmirched.
You couldn't think of the name of the director who realized he had a $5 million opportunity, huh?
Guys, I need you to look at the mask. Can you show them what the mask looks like?
What are the errors, first of all? I want to hear.
Okay, well, we got to prioritize this one at a time. So the mask looks like this, and it ain't no bedtime story. Here, you can...
He's wrinkly.
It's like a big wrinkly ball bag Winnie the Pooh head. Mm-hmm. It looks like it looks exactly like someone has got some latex and gone, we're gonna for this Halloween we're gonna sell scary Winnie the Pooh masks.
Yeah,
I don't care for that.
No. We're trying to make an enormous amount of money on this, so please cut corners.
Yeah.
Speaking of corner cutting,
he looks like Goofy.
Does look a bit like
when's Goofy entering public domain?
There is
Never.
Oh, man.
Disney will keep like perpetuating.
Mickey's entering public domain soon. That's like the whole thing.
I feel like mouse is never going to tolerate it.
It's to do with the difference between speaking as someone whose girlfriend is an entertainment lawyer. Copyrighted works enter the public domain, but trademarks do not.
Oh,
so that you get into sticky water to do with trademarks. So I think like the animated Winnie the Pooh is probably like trademarked by Disney.
But the character in general.
Yeah,
something based on the character.
But you can do media based on the book, I guess, but it's I don't know, it's complicated. This is what's really funny about Sherlock Holmes actually, because there's a dispute between there's like his family who they weren't left the rights to the books by Arthur Conan Doyle. Arthur Conan Doyle left the rights to like someone else. And there's been like a long-running like Jarndyce v. Jarndyce style legal dispute over who should have the rights to Sherlock Holmes books. And they're now out of copyright, except that the 2 rival families have all trademarked different Sherlock Holmes characters. So like one family has Holmes and the other family has Watson. So it's like impossible to make a Sherlock Holmes movie because you have to get them both to agree.
That's the movie.
But if you let on to one family that the other one is on board, they will immediately refuse to continue negotiating.
So hold on though. What leverage does the Watson family have? Who's watching Watson?
I don't know. That would be fun though. Just like a spin-off like Joey.
Have they not made that?
Yeah, I'm sure I'd watch Watson.
Surely they have. Also, it's like, so if you're like the second cousin, you get like Mrs. Hudson.
Who gets
sort of
the Hound of
landlady.
Baskerville?
The Hound of Baskerville.
Yeah,
the
just
singular
the dog.
hound, the only one left, last of its kind.
Yeah, that's the Clifford the Big Red Dog's origin story.
Yeah,
Out of the Baskervilles with this kind of neon red cartoon dog just ripping the throat out of an aristocrat.
Well, the thing is, Watson, at no point did they decide how big this hound was supposed to be. Yeah, there should be a movie where it's like Watson and Captain Hastings having to solve something together.
Sidekicks.
Or Watson and Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah.
Well, realistically, I think if you could we have to find like the family with the second-rate characters, and then just like make a Sherlock Holmes movie where Sherlock Holmes is always just out of frame or has just left and is never referred to by
He's just
name.
on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, I've talked to you know who, and he says check the bin.
There's a Peter Sellers movie where they did that. It might have been one of the Pink Panthers, where they just used a lot of unused footage from previous films, and there's loads of scenes where his head is stuck in something.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's almost like quite bowfingery. Wasn't that a film where like they use Eddie Murphy, but he never knows?
Yeah.
His head is stuck in something. I told you I cannot rim.
Yeah. Rim, yeah, exactly.
But I cannot rim as my head is in this honey jar.
Yeah,
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
surely Winnie the Pooh.
Belgian, surely.
Okay, yeah.
He's Belgian.
Yeah,
No one's
never
made
forget.
the French language version of this movie yet. Do you want to know the goof or
What
not?
are the continuity?
There were 3 things wrong with this movie. Only 3.
Okay.
Firstly, when Maria, we all know Maria, is running through the house holding the gun, it disappears and reappears repeatedly.
Okay, the fact is, the at some point in this clearly British film, a girl who's the girls are freaking out. They're on a bachelor, like a hen do in an
Right.
Airbnb, and Pooh is on the loose.
Okay, yeah.
Which is something that models extra weird.
Something that more normally happens at a stag do, but
Yeah.
in a very different way.
Yeah.
Pooh's on the loose is a good tagline for a.
They should have asked us first.
And so like 2 of the girls are like holding kitchen knives or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And then this northern girl just goes, "I've got a gun." It was amazing.
She's northern, of course she has a gun. Why
It
not?
was
She got a
amazing.
gun.
Because there's a storyline where she's like traumatized from stalking. It never gets addressed before or after.
So they were just like, wait, we need this person to have a gun.
Here's
It's
a
not
reason.
America. It's going to be hard to get a gun. We've got to have a pretty compelling reason for a British person to have a gun. All right, put in a stalking thing. Maybe we'll do a spin-off. I mean, that's the thing. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is falling to pieces
Yeah.
now.
Bravo converts blank fires for the yardies. He gave us a freebie.
Every British movie or TV show where someone ends up with a gun is either like organized crime connection, or it's
Guy Ritchie vibes.
Guy Ritchie stuff, or it's like inherited revolver from the war that they never declared to the police. Or
Oh
like
my god! So the
antique.
one that she has is like a Western like cowboy gun, because apparently if you want to use like a real looking gun in a movie, it like costs a shit ton to rent, and you need to like sign a bunch of stuff. Because I was talking to my friend who's a director while we're watching it together, and he said, but the sort of cartoony ones, they just give you for free. You could just like buy it.
You can use you could use the one of the ones that clearly only shoots a flag.
Yeah.
Fine.
She's
Okay,
there
good.
with what a water gun.
Yeah. Well, but as the Avengers sort of whole franchise, like the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's like all of their productions are tanking, like viewership down. It's clearly falling apart. It is time for a new cinematic universe for people to go to midnight screenings of.
Detective sidekicks.
Yes.
We're talking Lewis, Hastings,
Yeah.
Watson,
Shaggy.
the guy from Midsummer Murders, but not DCI Barnaby. Who's
Lawrence
the other one?
Fox.
Yeah, Lawrence Fox wasn't even Lewis. He was Lewis's assistant. He's
Yeah,
like
that's right.
further down the Inception.
He's the assistant's assistant.
Yeah,
Well, he comes in the post-credit scene.
yeah.
you know,
They're like, oh,
Nancy
shit, it's Lawrence
Drew's
Fox.
dog.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with sidekicks.
There's definitely more.
Would you say that Scooby-Doo is the detective or the sidekick?
The dog,
Yeah.
I'd say he's the heart of
Okay, may I ask for the biggest favor ever?
Yeah.
Can we go around and all do our impression of Scooby?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
There's a big
I
favorite.
don't remember what.
I got a feeling you want to start.
No, I know
Is
that
that a
you're going to be
frog
better. Right?
That's good.
That's not what
It was like New Jersey auntie.
No, that's him saying Shaggy, but he only says a
Yeah.
word.
He says raggy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Raggy.
Right? Who is that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Never heard of Rocky Roro. What's rimming?
So went virgin to deaf Scooby-Doo there.
Yeah.
Robin, at least rate more layers of that sandwich.
That was really not bad.
That's pretty good.
You know what? It's very rare that Riley nails an impression, but credit where it's due.
When did you guys last watch Scooby-Doo?
This morning.
Unfair advantage. That should have been declared.
Yeah.
I told Babak that there's no prep for the podcast,
I
but there
did.
really
I was like, do I have to prep for this? As I know,
You have to watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, it's like I don't. like,
Blood and Honey also.
Scooby-Doo, Blood and Honey.
you know, I'm an old person. So I haven't seen Scooby-Doo for
You
like
got a
20
young
years.
son. Come on.
Even he's quite old now.
I haven't seen Scooby-Doo for 20 years. It's such a funny intellectual brand.
Sucking on a cigar.
That's That's how much you can tell you've been like reading and doing like smart stuff. Like, I haven't even seen Scooby-Doo for 20 years. So, wow, you've been busy.
One of my girlfriend's friends is a literary agent who works with children's books, and at a work party, she was speaking to a guy who works in some other area of entertainment, and she said that she does children's books, and he clearly panicked, and what he said was, I haven't read a children's book in 20 years.
With a little bit of extra inflection, you could make that sound like someone would say in a horror movie. Why, I've not read a children's book in 20 years.
Well, the last time was 20 years ago this very night, weirdly.
Yeah. It was Winnie the Pooh, I think. Anyway, that's not portentous.
Do you think if you have that job and you just spend all your time trying to assess and understand the world of kids' books, so does something happen to you like what happens to primary school teachers where they speak to everyone like they're 4? Their speech changes. Have you noticed that?
Really?
I've
They
got
sound
friends
a bit
who...
like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. They start speaking like that. I've got friends who are primary school teachers, and I also noticed that growing up that like the younger a teacher's like age group that they taught was, the more that they would sort of speak to everyone like this. And genuinely, it's a problem. It's like it's an established
like when it's
social problem.
When it's time to like do drugs, so like everybody line up the cocaine.
Yeah.
But do you think with kids' books, you just end up being like some part of your brain just like withers away because you're just only ever reading about like, caterpillars and like grandmas and
maybe you start texting in like rhyme.
Yeah, you get Seuss brain.
Yeah.
Dr. Seuss, Blood and Honey.
Yeah. That is fun to regress to like the vernacular of a 4-year-old, because I think also there's stuff that if you never go through that stage, you like miss out on stuff. Like I always find when Olga and I speak Russian to each other, there's just like, because Olga spoke Russian as a child, there's just like a vocabulary that she has for like forest animals and like things that your grandmother would say that passed me by entirely as an adult learner. And then I know like words for disgusting things that Olga hasn't encountered.
That I never got to learn.
You know the word for overpass and stuff as well. Like, really boring adults.
In Russia, you'd be a very clean comedian.
Yes, I mean by necessity alone.
Yeah.
No, my whole
Has
thing
anyone
would be
read Little Red Riding Hood recently?
Whereas Milo's here talking about overpasses, audits.
When your kid was young, was there a form of media he enjoyed that was like over and over again that drove you insane? That's often an issue.
He was wildly into dinosaurs, so there was a lot of David Attenborough.
Classic.
Yeah, I think kids just are into dinosaurs.
Kids love ancient beasts. There's something. There's something about them.
Yeah, like Ross Kemp.
You grow out of your sense of what came before. That's the tragedy of getting old. You lose respect for monsters who've long disappeared.
Just being sucked into an eternal present and losing all of your memories actually would be quite a good horror film.
Yeah, that's true. Sort of, you call it Goldfish Bowl, Blood and Honey.
Perfect. We're just making a horror movies of everything, like bad low-budget horror movies of everything that kids have. Like winning a budgie at the fair, Blood and Honey, for example.
Winning a budgie at the fair? Did you grow up in the 1920s?
Yes.
Fucking Harper Lee over here. What is going on? Winning a budgie at the fair.
What do you win at a fair these days?
I don't know, like lurid teddy bear.
Nothing alive.
Probably a bloody knife.
Do you not still win goldfish? Is that not?
No, I don't think so.
Surely they don't let you have a fish.
Send my kids to the fair. They want a whippet canister.
Yeah. These days.
Oh, Scrappy Doo. That's Scooby Doo's
That's a sidekick.
Yeah. That was totally off topic.
No. There's no such thing as on topic on this podcast.
Wait, isn't he his nephew?
A nephew can be a sidekick.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's the
Our producer is nodding.
Well,
Scrappy's the nephew?
It's straightforward nepotism. Would Scrappy Doo have got that job if he wasn't Scooby Doo's nephew?
Scrappy Doo, why is your uncle's name blue on Wikipedia? Sort of rhetoric.
He's too small to effectively apprehend criminals.
Awful character.
Yeah, he's got very bad impulse control.
Well, didn't they introduced him in the 90s as a kind of Poochie, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need something to appeal. The kids don't like the big talking dog anymore. They want a smaller dog they can understand.
Am I crazy that Scooby can't really speak, but Scrappy can?
Yeah, Scrappy has no speech impediment.
I think that's why they did it, because they had to get over this hurdle where it's like they've got this character that now we've got into the 90s, but this dog doesn't makes sense.
Well, this dog only plays in the 70s.
Yeah.
90s kids, they had different priorities. They want to win a budgie at the fair, for example.
Some of the episodes were old in the 70s, though. Like they started making Scooby-Doo so long ago. When did it start? I'm going to guess late 50s, some of it.
Ooh, you reckon? Like, is it Hanna-Barbera, Scooby-Doo?
Bet your sweet ass.
It was 2059 it will pass into the public domain. Scooby-Doo.
Retirement plan, everyone?
Does Scooby-Doo have brain damage?
No, I think he's fine.
I think he's doing...
He's just a
Do you reckon
dog.
he's done too many balloons?
I don't like to diagnose characters. From what I can see on screen, I would need to investigate.
The only thing I will say is I
Okay.
do think he's smoked a lot of secondhand weed.
Yeah.
Secondhand weed. What he
Yeah,
bought
because
in
they
like a
keep
shop.
hotboxing the Mystery Mobile.
I heard of a guy who smoked a lot of weed and his dog did get addicted and he'd have to blow weed at the dog or it would...
Is this true?
Yeah.
Sorry, that is something a liar tells you. I have to blow weed at my dog because it's medicinal.
He would
Officer.
hotbox his living room so much and like the dog is in the basket or in the living room as well. And they like, I think this is not like a nice
Clifford the
person.
big red eye dog. Am I
The big
right?
green dog.
Yeah.
Like the dog likes it, and so if he didn't get his little share of it, the dog would be like
Can you
nip
Google
him.
can dogs get addicted to weed?
Yeah.
This is awesome. I don't like. Yeah, but I've got the only XL bully that's got schizophrenia
Would you-
because
would
I've
you be
hotboxed it
surprised?
so much.
Would you be surprised that Quora is right in there with an answer?
I'm not surprised at all.
Dogs get addicted to weed.
And it's that one guy who was like in the Croatian Liberation Army who replies to every Quora post about like there'll be like a Quora question about like what does it look like when a man gets blown up with a hand grenade, and there'll be this like one Croatian man who was like, I have killed many men, and I can tell you the following.
Top-rated answer
Yeah.
provider. What is it? Is the answer?
So Jen Wright 3 years ago asked, "Did dogs get high when you blow marijuana smoke in their ear or face?"
Their ear?
Well, yeah.
Jen!
My 1-year-old pug got into my quarter bag while I was out one day, ate the whole damn thing. When I got home, she was acting lethargic,
Yeah.
wobbling,
no.
and then slept for 4 hours. After her power nap and my re-up, she got up, ate an entire bowl of food, and drank all her water, ultimately acting completely normal beside the boost of energy. Now, no matter what room I'm in, when I decide to smoke a bowl, she comes and sits next to me.
Would you describe weed as giving you a burst of energy?
I don't know.
No,
Could
that
affect
wouldn't be
dogs
my
differently, though.
description.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could do.
Yeah.
Imagine if it's like for dogs, it's like Adderall.
Yeah,
Like your dog
yeah.
becomes so orderly.
Now
Yeah.
that she's 10, I think it's helped her joints. I don't know about the ear and smoke crap, but all you people screaming animal abuse, I had to comment. Bestiality is abuse, dog fights are abuse, but chill out about this.
Why did you take it immediately to bestiality? If you're accusing me of having fucked my dog, allow me to just say right now that I have not fucked my dog. And if I were to fuck my dog, I would do it very gently.
I smoked my dog out.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't fuck it.
Look, when my dog's stoned, it gets a little horny. Okay?
That's not my problem.
So do I.
This shirt that says ass, gas, or grass, no one eats kibble for free, that is not related to the dog.
But the answer is surely yes. This is winning testimony in my eyes. This dog is coming and begging for for a taste.
Dogs love weed.
Off one go.
Off one massive.
Yeah.
Sort of ate a quarter ounce, but like, you just ate it without it being activated. But I
Yeah.
wonder if this person on Quora is a fabulist.
Possibly,
No.
yeah.
That's a fabulist.
Someone's making up stories.
Oh, I've never heard that word. That's cute. That's a cute word.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
From the Latin fabulum, a tail.
Oh.
Yeah.
What's fabulous then?
Well, it comes from the same thing. It's like because fabulous originally meant something that was like scarcely believable because it was of such like kind of mythical
And fables.
Oh,
elaborateness.
so fabulous is like awesome, but literally
yeah,
awesome.
very similar
And it's-
etymological journey that it's
I see,
gone
I
on.
see,
as
I
Sort of
well.
like
see.
you'd say, wow, that's unbelievable.
Like a fable as well as the same kid's
Where
fable.
did that change then? Because I can understand that, but if I said that's fabulous now,
It's like saying incredible, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
incredible means I don't believe you.
I don't believe.
Technically.
Yeah.
Guys, I get it. I look really good tonight.
I don't want to turn into QI, but where does that journey happen where the word changes?
Well, surprisingly recently, I feel like there's still like old Tory MPs who are like, "What a fabulous tale."
Yeah, or they say it's a
Yeah.
completely incredible policy.
Let that be blood and honey? No way.
I'm a blood and honey
Oh,
nationalist.
speaking of etymological journeys, do you want to know a fun fact?
Okay.
So Alexander Graham Bell He invented the phone, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
He was Canadian.
He for fuck's sake. God damn it.
He was Scottish.
So he wanted people to say ahoy on the phone.
No, he was Scottish. Why did I think he was Canadian? Never mind. Carry on.
He wanted to say ahoy on the phone. That did not pick up. People started saying hello. People did not say hello as hello before. They used to say like good day. Or how you doing? So hello.
How you doing?
How you doing? People used to, in the early modern period, people would say, "What's up?"
Yeah.
People say how you doing?
Because the Budweiser advert was very popular in that period.
What's up? So
You get that
basically,
in Shakespeare. It's the first time it was ever written down, but it probably was used as early as 1060.
In the vernacular, yeah.
People don't know it because he used the Z.
They come back round these things.
Yeah.
So hello was like
he
a
was Canadian. Okay.
slangy way to say to say hello, and hello started being used on the phone as like a slang word. It's like saying yo. So the song "Hello My Baby," "Hello My Darling," "Hello My Ragtime Gal" is a song spoofing the word hello. So it's not a genuine. It's
Look at
like
this buffoon saying hello to his ragtime gal. He's not even talking on the
isn't that
electric
crazy?
telephone.
It's like them being like, yeah, kids are saying YOLO a lot. So that's what the song is.
Don't call her a ragtime gal. She's having her monthly visit.
Well, that's like there are like European
What I'm
languages like that. Like I think in both Russian and French, if you say hello not on the phone, people look at you like you're insane. Yeah. As in they genuinely don't understand what they mean. They're like, no, that's the phone word. You say that to say it's the phone. You don't say that when you meet someone in person.
That's the joke as well of why Mr. Burns says ahoy hoy when he picks up the phone.
Oh, really?
Because he's so old that he's like, well, this is the way that you answer the phone.
He's just ahoy hoy. Is it about my canary from the fair?
Yeah. I realize why I think that is because I never won a budgie at the fair.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby.
Sorry, young Riley. All the budgies have been taken into the mines.
We're really going deep tonight. I never won a budgie at the...
Did you want one?
Well, the thing was, you had to shoot the budgie off its perch with an air rifle to win it.
Yeah.
And then you did win it, but it sort of defeated the object.
At what cost?
Yeah. It was teaching you a lesson about the ability to cage an animal.
Yeah, so you can only own nature when it's dead.
Yeah.
That was the lesson the fair came to town to teach the children.
Powerful fable. In a man with a twirly moustache. Well, I think we've all learned an important lesson here, boys.
I like the very sort of grim metaphorical fair.
Yeah.
Canada was not a happy place. No, I didn't win a budgie at the fair.
It's a good title for a book, by the way.
I keep saying it because it's like a cellar door phrase. No, I didn't win one because my... Sorry,
we are the budgies of the fairs you couldn't attend.
I didn't win one because it stopped happening in the 70s. The reason that popped into my mind is because when my mother was a teenager, she worked at the budgie game at Ontario Place.
So it was a real thing.
It was a real thing. You could win a budgie in Canada at a fair.
Who's taking care of all these budgies overnight?
How many budgies would they be storing?
Should I call her?
Fair? Yeah.
I think so.
Roll up.
Studio.
Who wants a budgie?
Ahoy, mother!
Is that easier than goldfish? I guess it's easier.
Just store them?
Well, because they just sort of peck and they can be in a cage and things, whereas with a goldfish, it's a whole different realm, isn't it?
It does have to be aquatic.
You've got to make sure there's like a bubbler and an aquarium seems like
They
more
give them to you in plastic bags. I don't think they care. Yeah.
They don't care once they get to you, but they got to keep them alive till the kid gets it in the bag.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Was it like a? What was the game?
I actually
shoot the goldfish in the swimming pool.
And they will give you a budgie.
Yeah. That's right.
No, but be careful.
The more goldfish you kill, the more budgies you win.
No. Here's what happens: is one side budgie game, shoot the goldfish, win a budgie. The other side goldfish game, shoot the budgie, win a goldfish. See who wins first.
Okay, but the big question is, they're both cat food.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's a fair for cats.
Yeah, they're on the pocket of big cats.
It's the cat equivalent of one of those restaurants where you pick the lobster out of the tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with a gun, like an air rifle.
Yeah, you shoot the lobster in the tank and then it's just like... You're like across the restaurant with a shotgun. You shoot it. Every lobster in the tank is dead. The tank shatters. There's water all over the restaurant. And a guy with a tea towel over his arm goes, "Very good, sir."
Just as you're about to take the shot on the lobster, one of the other diners like leans back and laughs and like blocks the scope. And, "You don't have a shot.
You're on a radio.
You don't have a shot."
Hi, Hi, I'm Riley. I'll be your spotter this evening.
Yeah. Wind, 1 click left. Okay. Just a very long restaurant.
This would pair nicely with perhaps a Serdico. Or a very light red.
A spotter sommelier.
Yeah.
I don't think lobster would pair nicely with an Acertico.
Okay, fair enough.
Sorry.
You've
No,
got an
jokes
opinion on
aside.
this.
Jokes aside. You can't be saying stuff like that in front of Riley.
Yeah.
Not even as
What
a
do you
joke.
think would happen?
But what's happened with what was the game? I need to know how you win a budgie.
Well, Fox 1, you're a cleared heart.
I think
Nothing
maybe-
stronger than a Sauvignon.
Hoops?
Maybe like a dart and a balloon. I actually don't know.
Well, that's how they scam you. The budgies are glued onto the perch. You think you can knock them off there with the baseballs, but all it does is kill the budgie.
What I will do, I promise this, you, the person watching this, hello. I am going to ask my mother.
Just being really rude to our producer for a second.
You
there, boy!
fetch me a budgie.
It's just like,
The biggest one in the window.
yeah, what day is it today, boy? It's Christmas. Go get a budgie.
I've got a very small family to feed. I had the borrowers live in my house.
I'm going to make fun of Tiny Tim by telling them I'm going to bring Christmas dinner and then showing up with this budgie. If anything, those ghosts made me an even bigger cunt than I was before.
If I'm going to hell, I'm taking you all with me.
Yeah. I've become even more cruel after being brutalized throughout the night by a series of sadistic visions.
Oh, I will serve you a fabulous Christmas dinner, all right.
I've now been traumatized, and I'm passing it on to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will find out. I will find out what the budgie game was.
Okay.
All right. I'll hold you to that.
Babak, now that we have you here, I'm so sorry about this diversion. About all the stuff that has just been said. As our
Everything
guest,
up till now.
yes.
Anyway, the podcast starts now.
right now.
Yeah.
I feel okay. I don't know what's going on, but okay.
No, as our guest, we just wanted to ask you some questions. I mean, I specifically wanted to ask you some questions
Yes.
that are recorded. Can you tell us about the London early 2000s indie music scene?
Oh.
Babak is the reason Bloc Party exists.
No.
Well, I don't go on. Well, yes. Well, no.
Good thing
yes,
we wasted all of that time talking about a fucking budgie game.
If they
I mean,
hadn't have
which-
won that budgie.
We also don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
Which bit? Like, I mean, Matt, who played drums in Bloc Party, is like my best friend from school, and he did come to London we were meant to start a band, but this friend I used to work at the Curzon Soho, and this friend
Perfect
who I
location.
worked with, his band kept losing drummers, and eventually I was like, do you want to just try for this? And like 6 months later, I think they were in the top 10 or something. It's like, as soon as we went to see a gig, it's like, yep, I've seen this band before. It's like, this works. I remember saying to my girlfriend at the time, well, that's that. And it
That's
was.
so cool.
This band kept losing drummers, like they're like budgies being eaten by cats in the neighborhood. They're just.
It was, but yeah, I mean, I used to work at the Old Blue Last, which I haven't been to in a long time, but it's
I
like,
assume it's probably
that was
the
like,
same.
it's probably, I think it's turned into like, not the Hard Rock Cafe, but I imagine like anything East London, it's turned into like
Yeah.
a tourist spot that,
Is it true that Vice has a flat above it?
well, it used to be
Vice
that
owned it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was theirs.
So they had a flat for just like people to use.
Yeah, you could go into the Old Blue Last and like do LSD with a Mongolian throat singer or whatever it was you do on Vice in like 2008.
Yeah, it was that.
Yeah, pretty much
it
just
was
that.
that.
It was
Yeah, it
literally just that.
But it was,
were the people who worked at the Curzon with you also like all kind of creative types, and it feels like that's where they'd work, right?
it was one of those jobs, isn't it, where it's like, I mean, I was at St. Martin's around the corner, but my flatmate ended up writing on Skins, and we had like a guy who was, I had another friend who's quite a successful artist in New York, who at the time, it's like the best exhibition I was ever part of, and the first one after graduating was I think Burger King still exists in Whitechapel, but
Right.
it was in the Whitechapel Burger King. He managed to get them to agree to put this work up.
He got royal assent from the king himself.
And like this is like 2001. I think I painted. I'm not a very good painter. I painted this.
Okay, you're an incredible artist, to be fair.
I do it. I am guilty of always being too.
Babak is an incredible artist. You've also definitely have seen his art.
I am an incredible artist.
Thank you.
I'm a terrible painter, and I was worse 20 years ago. But I painted this picture of Britney Spears, behind a load of flames called
Okay.
Britney Spears 9/11. Which
That was her best album, I thought.
Shame about the
and
release
this
date.
was like, I see the
Yeah.
date, and it was like, this was in 2001 or 2, so it was contemporary stuff at the time.
Yeah.
And
I love the idea that you painted it in 1999.
Yeah.
You're just
Well, they
I think
actually
if I had
changed
done, I'd be in a
the.
lot of trouble based on the way I look. It's like,
They changed the ending of the Toxic music video. It was going to end with the plane crashing into the second tower.
It ends exactly like Charlie Wilson's War, where it's just like he's staring, looking out at like the wealthy Texas like dowagers like gardens, and says, "I just wish we could have built a school in Afghanistan." And then a plane goes overhead. Quite similar, actually.
I've never seen the film Charlie Wilson's War.
Well,
I
I've
have
just
not seen it.
spoiled it for you. 9/11 does happen.
Oh, goddamn. My favorite twist at the end of anything is 9/11 happened. Remember Me, the rom-com.
What?
The book, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. Always. The reveal at
Really?
the end is, it's 9/11, y'all.
That's not relaxing.
Well, no, it's at the end of the year.
Oh, okay, so I go, what,
So,
a
well,
way,
you've had your relaxation.
what a way to re-enter the world of not relaxing.
Ah.
What a way to mark the end of my...
I love being a fireman in New York City, but it's mighty stressful. That's why I took off a whole year for rest and relaxation, starting on September 10th, 2000. And now I'm very excited to get back to work, feeling relaxed and de-stressed.
Rah-rah.
My name is Pete Davidson's father.
Rantanamo Ray. A ghost,
It's
the
like
ghost of
Rain Man, but he's
Rantanamo
the
Ray.
20th hijacker.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Scooby-Doo Investigates 9/11 would have been the movie that they should have made if they weren't cowards.
If you were interested, Babak, that Burger King has a 3.3
Is
out
that
of
it?
5. Yeah. A lot of talk about the mural. They don't like it. They hate the mural. They think it's disrespectful.
They've maintained an arts presence in the building. It's good to know.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of flame in the artworks in Burger King anyway. You could probably sneak Britney Spears in there without them noticing.
They have a heavy emphasis on flame.
Gilbert and George were in this show. Mark Leckie was in the
Really?
show. It was like, yeah,
That's
he managed to
crazy.
get a lot of people involved.
Wow.
And
Is it something people visited, or it was just incidentally you went to Burger King and you were...
I don't remember going to an opening to this Burger King for this show. I do remember going to order a Whopper and it being behind the till.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is, but at the time as well, it was like the first show I'd done since graduating. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, I guess this is what life is now.
Great art does require, throughout history, royal patronage.
Yeah.
It's the only way to really
But
get
I'm
the
trying to
resources
think, Would
together.
that happen now? I don't know if like they wouldn't do that now.
Well, with Burger King,
Yeah,
I
like
think quite the opposite. I think it's.
But it
in
would
the
be
last-
like corporate and sanitized in a way that's lame, in a way that like Burger King wants to be in on the joke as opposed to...
Yeah, it
sort
would
of
be a
being-
sort of ironic
Yeah.
portrait of some sort of meme that they would share.
Well,
from-
they all did that with NFTs between, depending on when this is released, 2 years and 4 months ago. Like that all happened already. You know, that every single marketing department had just run out of ideas, and then someone made an ape temporarily worth $1 million, and then they were like, "Great, this is our idea forever." And that was the last time they tried to get in on something like that.
We're back to the Montreal monkey dealer again.
Yeah.
I still don't, I don't understand what an NFT
Well, good thing is
is.
you don't have to anymore.
Yeah.
It's
There was
over,
a-
isn't it?
There was a period where someone would have asked you to understand what an NFT is. I had to do quite a lot of NFT understanding for my other show.
Right.
That is now over, fortunately.
Yeah.
The last thing I think that happened as of the time of the recording of this show is that the last sort of Bored Ape irredentists have all been blinded by the UV lights at a rave that they all went to.
Yes, yeah.
That's the funniest sentence. Please say
'cause
that
they used a
sentence again.
disinfectant UV light instead of a normal
Wait, is this
UV
true?
light.
Yeah.
Is
by
this
mistake.
true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that makes me really
They
happy.
all,
blinded a lot
got,
of
like
ape owners.
sunburnt from their night, from their rave.
Like iris sunburns. They were all like in basically, yeah, they all got injured by the monkey rave. Also, you laugh like Edna Krabappel,
Who?
Bart's teacher. Ha!
I feel like
I'm too pretty to have seen The Simpsons.
Got that.
I feel like I feel like the whole NFT apes thing was like if I was just one of the not on camera civilians in like an alien invasion film where they defeat the aliens, and there's a few weeks where I think I'm gonna have to learn about aliens and like learn how they talk and how to live in this new world where the aliens run and then they get defeated and you go, oh, okay, phew.
Yeah.
Thank fuck for that.
Yeah.
It's like guys who put all of their music onto mini disc in like 2001.
Yeah.
It's like the years that I spent learning about sports, only now to be dating in a time where men are pretending to like Taylor Swift instead of women pretending to like sports.
Now you just need to learn to have a level of patience with their pretending. It's all more
Yes, very good.
receive rather than broadcast.
I like the idea that everyone switched.
Yeah. Men coming in with their sophomoric opinions about Taylor Swift and women using salt shakers in the pub to explain to them why Taylor's version of 1989 is actually different.
Yeah.
It's the subtleties in terms of the decisions made with the recording and mixing of the songs, because she now owns the masters. And then they're like, wait, but how is that different from when she recorded the songs herself the first time? You're like, because of the label control.
And that's why the salt shaker has to be here.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear the second revealing mistake in Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey?
Yes, goddamn,
wow, I'd
finally.
forgotten we were talking about that, yes.
The masks occasionally slip on Pooh and Piglet, exposing the actors' faces underneath.
Well, there's people underneath.
How can that? I don't understand when that happens in films, though.
I
Like,
Just kind of just
in
shoot
the
it again.
edit, surely you noticed that.
Well, but that happens in big budget films. Like there are countless scenes. Again, I hate to drag it back to Marvel. There were after like the first 3. When they started being like, well, I guess we need to make 100 of these a year that you have to have watched 4 seasons of TV and a web miniseries to understand. They just also stopped paying attention in the edit. And so there are in like one of the Taika Waititi ones, there fully are just like shots go on for about half a second too long and you see people like walk towards craft services. It's baffling.
I watched Saw 5, I
can't
think,
do Saw.
in the cinema. As a sort of goof thing. It came out, well, let's go to the cinema, that'll be funny. And it was one where they ran out of money.
Let's all go and watch Saw
And just
5.
whatever they, but we knew it was shit, and we knew they'd run out of money. And so like all the press about it was like, I think it's 5. They ran out of money, and they just had to rush it out. And in the cinema, it was like it was like watching The Room or something, because they'd done an editing trick where, like you say, they do their best, but they don't have money and there's no time. And they get sued if they take too long to release it or something. So they get a black bar and they just put it across the entire top of the screen because the boom was in shot so much.
Right.
And the
Wait,
boom,
so it gets shorter? The shot gets shorter?
the shot got shorter and the boom was still in shot so much. There was genuinely a scene where it was like the chief of police sitting at her desk being like, these warehouses full of traps, and like getting on the phone. And the boom was genuinely like, these warehouses full of traps. Like it was insane.
So maybe that's like the kind of like, because I'm a wuss, I couldn't watch that in the cinema, and
I could
that's
never be in a Saw trap.
But that's the light relief I would need. I just focus on the boom.
But
Don't look what's going on under the boom.
Yeah, but there was one where like, sometimes where like the camera angle is from like shoe height, like to show like look at this big
to make
crazy...
Tom Cruise look normal size.
Exactly, yeah. Or for Tarantino to jack off to. But that shot,
He loves a Tom Cruise movie. Tarantino.
That shot, like the kind of the 4 or 5 people trying to survive the traps, walk into this sort of subterranean like cave of traps and go, wow. And the camera pans up from like shoe height, and you just saw the end of the set and like gantry and stuff, and like just the warehouse they were filming in.
Just a guy eating.
Genuinely, like just a gantry with lights and like the top of the walls of the basement.
Then again, that's kind of what Saw's warehouse is presumably also like.
But
It's
it was
just
supposed
like,
to be underground.
oh right, okay.
It was
Yeah.
supposed to
I
be in
love that.
tunnels.
Yeah.
So you just go, they're filming in a warehouse.
I like the idea of just like Saw just gave up on whatever his. I don't remember what Jigsaw's like backstory is, but he just decides to start just doing escape rooms.
He started as a YouTube prankster, and then he got radicalized by.
He got radicalized.
It started
He was on
out
the
with,
Red Pill subreddit.
Yeah, it started out with just like funny stuff, like that was my hand in the McDonald's bag or whatever, and then it just escalated and escalated. And
Someone thinks they're about to tuck into a McFlurry and they just get punched in the face.
one of the
By a
ones.
kind of creamy hand.
Wait, what a low effort saw trap. Would you like to enjoy this delicious McFlurry? A treat has always been your preference, Milo.
There's a budgie just waiting to be won from this fair.
That would be funny. Saw prequel, like, well, just take this piece of gum. What could go wrong? There's not a little mousetrap in there.
Yeah, he runs the budgie thing at the fair. He's your mom. He goes, I want to play a game.
Sit on this chair. Try not to make a fart sound, or I'll you'll be very embarrassed.
Why, Mr. Novelli, you're always rushing around standing. Why not take a seat?
Yeah. Why?
That's the thing. I'm like you. I have never seen a horror movie. I can't do it. But I love the plot summaries.
Yeah, I'm always curious, but like I remember.
I'm curious enough to watch it. That's not me.
As a teenager, I mean, this isn't a horror movie really, but I remember like somebody's birthday, and it was like going to see Seven. So I'm showing my age, but it was like Seven. Yeah. But there was also Babe, and I was like, right, like these are the choices. It's like there was only one vote for Babe, but I'm like, I don't want to.
Babe's a horror movie.
It is.
Our
like,
talking pig.
Yeah, but the teenagers don't see it like that. I tried to sell it as like Pig in the City is more of a horror movie than the first one.
Yeah.
You
had to go see Seven.
I had to go and see Seven.
How old are you?
18. But I didn't know how I'd react because I never went to see. Like I'd seen like scary movies at home. Like I remember me and a girlfriend once like watched The Exorcist with all the lights on, and just to get it done. So we need to get this done. It had just been re-released. It's like we'll watch it done. Well, I worked at the Curzon. I needed to have known films.
Yes.
Right. So it's like it's midday. We'll put all the lights on. It's VHS. And it was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we diluted.
Wait, is it the one where she's like, your mother sucks cocks in hell?
Yeah.
Is it that one?
And then the priest is like, don't bring my mother into this.
What a rude demon. So what the priest says next. Shush.
I think I maybe...
Shush.
Well, there's no need for that.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember how it went.
So how did you react to seeing Seven?
Well, it was quite gripping.
I'm sorry,
wasn't
you're
it?
right. That was over
I mean,
the line.
I don't want to ruin anything in case anyone doesn't know the ending. It was all right. I think if I watch it back now, it's
Did you get, like, freak out in the cinema? Did you jump? Were you disturbed?
I don't think so. I think it turns out like I you know me a bit, Olga. I overthink these things.
And it's fine.
In the moment, I'm fine.
But I think it's more of a thriller as well. Like there's
not a
nothing
horror
really in
film.
Seven where someone goes blah. There's like a kind of...
At the time, that was my level. I would never even consider going to see Saw.
Have you seen Saw now?
No.
It's so good. The first Saw is incredible.
I'm still working up to Midsummer.
Oh yeah, that's pretty
No, I haven't seen it. I heard it's really good. I get curious. I read anything about it, and I'm like, I don't get it.
The gritty A24 reboot of Midsummer Murders.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I've read the plot summaries to the Saw movies.
Why can't you do a horror movie?
If I hear someone like describing a medical procedure, I have to tell them to stop.
God, that must make visits to the hospital really tricky for you. They sort of have to describe it to you. That's part of informed consent.
Legally, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you just want the mystery box.
Yeah.
Like, look, if you have to do it, I'll take your word for it. Don't tell me what's involved.
Just do the thing you're going to do. You have to talk to doctors like a mafia boss. I have a problem and I would like it to go away. Okay, so what I'm going to do? I don't need to know.
Are you fucking stupid?
Don't
Feds could be listening to this whole thing.
Don't talk about this here.
Yeah.
In the hospital where people are...
Yeah,
just walk in the doctor walks back in.
Did you ever see the Blair Witch Project? That's the only scary film I saw in the cinema was the Blair Witch Project.
That's a good one to have seen.
I misunderstood it, and so I was not scared. And that's how I got through it. Like we went.
What do you think it was?
I thought this doesn't make sense.
It was
now.
about the Iraq War.
No, I thought that those people that had gone. I thought I was watching. I don't know what I was watching. I thought they were making a film about. I didn't realize they would have lost footage. in the whole film. I didn't realize that was the lost footage.
So you thought they were making like a slightly sort of silly film about
I think I was lost in it, but I'd gone in with this preconceived notion that I never changed. And so when at the end, when this guy was standing in the corner, and it ended, I was like, what the hell was that? As an ending, what the hell was that?
Why would you bring that footage back?
Yeah.
When you're all alive from the woods.
How did they get out of this one?
Poorly edited together series of shots.
Genuinely, I was so confused.
So do you
They keep
faint
looking
then?
into the camera.
No, I was hearing today about my uncle has had some had some medical procedures done
Yeah.
to my mother, and I had
Can't
to
be
say,
too specific.
I had to say, I'm getting like
Freaked out.
rising anxiety. You gotta stop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
Well, we wish Riley's uncle a speedy recovery from his
Whatever
leg
it is.
amputation and/or kidney transplant.
Or just laser eye surgery.
Yeah, it could be laser eye.
Could be psychotherapy.
Could be one of those like earwax removal things that
Yeah.
people do on TikTok.
Yeah, syringing.
Hair plug?
Yeah, I was going to say hair plug.
Yeah.
Plugs. Yeah.
Whatever it is, I don't want to know. I don't need to know.
Do you know? I thought that like, because you know, sometimes as a comedian, you're like, oh fuck, I hate that my whole life is content now. And then I sometimes I envy other people that I was at university with who aren't on that particular grind.
Mm-hmm.
And then I recently discovered that someone that I was at Cambridge with who studied medicine, a medical doctor, has a TikTok where he reviews spot popping videos
Is it Harry
in
Hill?
his capacity as a dermatologist,
Ooh,
giving like
what?
medical commentary.
Was he saying like don't do that?
He's like, ooh, not like that. Or sometimes he'll be like, pretty good spot pop there, pretty
But-
textbook.
Aren't you supposed to just not pop spots?
I think it depends on
I think there's got
the.
to be a point where that's the only option.
I think as a rule, it's better not to, but there's some situations in which you would want to extract. And it's not just spots, like sometimes it's like block pause or.
Is there a TikTok I can learn more about this on? No, never mind. I don't want to.
I don't want the TikTok that shows me how it's done. I want a TikTok reviewing how it's done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can you direct me?
exactly.
Yeah, I need it to be one level of abstraction, or I'll get all anxious.
But you would think, as a dermatologist, which he is, right? Your customers just come to you because they have a skin complaint, and you don't need to.
Content.
Yeah, the reason
Yeah.
why you need to be on TikTok is if you need people to come to you for no reason. Like that's what we all do. It's like the kind of like, yeah, you don't really need me, but I'm going to make you think that you do. But as a dermatologist, I feel like there's got to be a guy with like an elephant trunk on his head or whatever who's like, I need that guy's help.
You're watching him
Could be Riley's uncle. We don't know.
Yeah. So you're watching this guy sacrifice his precious privacy, basically. His
Yeah.
lack of need to farm content. And he's voluntarily becoming a content farmer in his spare time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's weird.
The other weird thing I keep getting on TikTok is people selling toilet roll.
Eh?
People doing live
me, what?
streams where they're selling toilet roll.
Just
like, from
toilet
their
roll
house.
brackets general.
They're like,
toilet roll that they've bought. What?
Are they-
I don't
yeah,
understand.
they're just trying to offload it?
They're in a room, and I cannot stress this enough. Floor to ceiling, just toilet rolls. It's like a cutaway from Rick and Morty. Like, it doesn't seem real. And they're like, this is the cheapest toilet roll on TikTok. 72 rolls, £24. Okay, we're taking your bids. And I'm just like, what
That
is going on? And I'm like,
This
the
is a good
cheapest.
deal.
Yeah. The
Saw 11
cheapest
is
toilet
very
roll.
strange.
Yeah.
There's a toilet roll auction taking place on the device that the Chinese Communist Party is using to steal my data.
Yeah, well, they want to know how much you're shitting. What? This,
Yeah, they
this is
do.
the thing.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I just went to an AI exhibition where it said the Chinese government does actually track how much toilet paper certain citizens use.
Really?
Really?
Ooh. Okay. Well, maybe
Okay,
they're doing it
someone's
through
got
Who are
TikTok.
these certain citizens?
No. It's the idea. It's like if you don't care about privacy, how much good can data collection do?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
The Chinese
forget-
government doesn't trust people with wet shits.
Victory!